I'd like to welcome Adam Scott to the virtual interview room. Adam, thank you for joining us, and welcome back to the Sentry Tournament of Champions. This is your first time back since 2014 when you finished T6, and you've also got a runner-up finish in 2004. So just talk us through your excitement to be back and how special this event is.
Yeah, it's nice to be back. It has been an event I've loved coming to for so many years, but then for a while it was a tricky one to get back to, and every time I missed it I regretted it, but it was off the back of playing in Australia, and it being the first week of the year made it a very short holiday season for me. So once I won in Genesis last year, though, it was definitely a priority for me to put this event on the schedule. It's a great way to start the year. Even under these circumstances, it's nice to be here, and for me, at this moment, I need to kind of start putting some good results on the board and get my FedEx Cup campaign going a bit.
And before we get started with questions, can you talk us through what you did over the holiday break? Anything special?
It was a lot of family time. We're busy with kids at the moment, and I tried to enjoy that as much as I can, tested my patience, so that's ready for this season, if nothing else. And I obviously, tried to do some work on my game and get myself prepared to come out for the next 6 or 7 months of this season and try and get some results on the board.
We'll go ahead and open up to questions. We'll start with Cameron Morfitt from the PGA Tour.
Hey Adam, Happy New Year.
Same to you, mate.
Hey, just quick question about the break. What was the most memorable gift given or received over the Christmas break for you?
Well, Santa redeemed himself this year for our kids because he didn't deliver the right gift last year. So that was very important this year that he brought the right gift, and he did that. So that was pleasing for everyone in our household this Christmas.
Was there a miscommunication somehow? Santa got a bad intel?
Yeah, I think Santa just didn't realize how much that gift was really wanted last year, and we got to take the kids' word for it from now on.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, Cameron. We'll go over to Ben Davis from Channel 7 Australia.
Scotty, Happy New Year. Good to see you. How are you feeling, mate? Obviously, the end of last year was a bit of a rough one for you.
Yeah, I feel fine. Everything is...
No impacts from COVID. That's sort of alluding to.
Right, yeah, no. Look, I had very mild dose of COVID, so it didn't really affect me in any way other than it knocked me off tour for a couple of weeks where I wasn't allowed to play. So I haven't had any kind of lingering effects from that at all, which is good.
It is good, mate. You talk about this as Kapalua for the first time since 2014. Obviously, you played the Australian Summers then. No tournament, no golf. How do you feel? Refreshed? A lot of training? Ready to get into it?
Yeah, I've had a good break. I mean, I think last season wasn't really a season for me. It was a lot of time away from the tour, and routines changed and couldn't be put back in place. Just logistics were too difficult to do it, so kind of had to have reassess since the Masters and figure out a way to kind of tackle this season, because it looks like it's under similar circumstances, and trying to put a good plan in place to get myself in the mix of tournaments. I played okay at the end of last year, but not up to what the standard I want to play if I'm out here doing it. So trying to do a little bit better job of that from this point on.
One final one then. How are you feeling? Did you feel like you're in a good space, or is it a bit of an unknown?
No, I actually feel, my game, swing-wise and technique-wise, feels like it's really come along nicely in practice. That's all I've been able to do for the last few weeks. So it's feeling really good. It's nice to get out now this week and kind of put it to the test. And obviously I'm looking ahead to the spring and the Players Championship and then the Masters soon after that as, target events to be kind of peaking for. But I feel there's no reason why I can't get myself in the mix these next few weeks as well.
Awesome, mate. Go well.
Okay, thanks.
Doug Ferguson, Associated Press.
Adam, a couple things. Did you renew with Titleist during the off-season?
Yes, I did.
Did they lose the stitching on the hat, or is that something?
Fell off. No. No. Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, it's a small change, obviously, to my appearance, but still playing all Titleist equipment. Nothing's changed there at all except the hat position.
Have you experimented with any longer shafts in the driver?
Well, I did start playing a longer shaft at Houston last year at 46, but that's kind of where I've left it for the moment. I hadn't really even tamed a 46-inch shaft, so I need to get a bit better at that before we go longer, but I think it's in a good spot. It's been interesting. Obviously there's a lot happening with equipment and speed and things like this out here on tour, a lot of talk about it, and it's been interesting to just experiment a little bit with it and not have to change too much to make some gains. So that's been positive for me with the new Titleist driver, and I switched to the new ball at the end of last year, and that's still looking good.
Okay, and lastly, I wanted to ask you about the tournament itself. The fact that we have 16 people here who didn't win at the Tournament of Champions, are you okay with that as long as you're playing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks. Try not to elaborate on that.
No, I mean, yeah, I don't know, it's what it is. I don't know what to say about that. I think,
you're okay. Thanks, Ed.
You got it.
Going our next question from Adam Chupak, Golf Week.
Hey there, Adam. Happy New Year.
Same to you.
There were some images of you putting on social media this week that showed you with a short putter. Is that just your typical practice method, or have you made a switch?
No, I have the arm lock putter here this week, so it might have looked like a short putter, but it was an arm lock style, and I putted like that a couple years ago. It's just kind of what I like on this type of green here this week, and quite grainy, quite slow, a lot of slope, and can be a lot of wind around as well. And the long one, I feel like I've battled with a little bit out here in the past.
Okay. You mentioned already the Masters, and this is calling it the super season, also includes the Olympics, and right now you're number 21, the top ranked Australian. I know in the past you've been not that excited about the Olympics, but have you changed your thoughts at all on that? Would you consider playing this year?
I'd consider playing. It's still not my priority for the year, that's for sure, but I wouldn't rule it out, because you can never really say never, but it'll certainly be something I'll look at. Who knows where we are in the summertime.
And I mentioned you being number 21 in the world. You wasn't that long ago you were number one. How big a difference do you feel in your game between when you were number one and where you are these days?
Yeah, I think I think where my game was as the tour shut down at the end of last year was really very close to number one. I think it shut down and I was number 6, and I just never played that good when we came back. The situation was somewhat difficult for me to operate in the same fashion that I was, with international travel and coaches living internationally and things like that, made it very difficult to even see people. So, so I fell off the ball a little bit, and the ranking has just slipped down. But I feel like, hopefully I've addressed those difficulties and have a good plan in place to kind of move back up. I feel like the work I've done recently is really good, so I'm eager to see it kind of get a result the next few weeks for me on tour and start moving in the right direction before the big stuff in the spring.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Is there somebody else waiting?
Yes, there is.
Thank you.
We'll take a couple more questions, Adam. The next is from Evan Priest with News.Australia.
Hey Scotty, how are you, mate?
Yes, good, thank you. You?
Yeah, pretty good. Mate, I just want to get the mark that you'd sort of give yourself out of 10 for the 3 majors last year, and how that will influence the way that you approach the majors coming this year.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean 5. I made the cut. That's about it. Yeah, I mean the preparation just wasn't ideal, obviously, for any of them, to be honest. Disappointing at the Masters because I started feeling like I was getting a bit of momentum going, but then obviously getting COVID kind of set my preparations back and didn't quite get it going, even though I had a good start. But I have to figure out a way to get it done. Even under these difficult circumstances, if I'm going to come out and play, I want to come out and contend and not just make up numbers. Otherwise, I'd rather not play.
And just to follow that up, as you sort of look at the schedule this year and the way that you'll approach, the majors, the players and everything, what are the biggest challenges for you with everything going on?
Getting time to see my coach outside of a tour event, and training and treatment and things like that. If you're not based in the same place at the moment, it's very, very difficult to actually get together. So, the UCLA is just locked down again. My coach lives there. I know other guys have that too, but it is challenging at the moment. So, just trying, to manage things a little bit better.
Thanks, Adam.
Okay.
Thanks, Evan. We'll go to Rod Polius with Maui News.
Hey, hi, Adam.
Hey.
I joined just a tiny bit late. Hope I'm not repeating anything. If I am, please, I apologize. Please accept
Okay.
that. But I'm just wondering, what's it like to be back here 7 years later? And what are your impressions of the golf course now as compared to 2014?
Well, it's great to be back. It's always an event that when you miss it, I kind of regret not coming when I've qualified. It's such a fun week, a fun golf course to play, and obviously to be here as a tournament winner is a good feeling. So nice to be back. Generally, my feeling is the course is in the best shape I've ever seen it, by far. I can see they've done some work on the golf course, and it seems to have all kind of come together very nicely. The condition of the golf course is fantastic. The few small alterations they've made are very good and fit in well, and I'm incredibly impressed with the standard of the golf course.
Thanks so much, my man.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
You got it.
Thanks, Rob. We'll go over to Jimmy Emanuel, Golf Australia. Jimmy, a reminder to go off mute.
Yeah, that's all good. Scotty, mate, obviously last year's scheduling and preparation you mentioned was completely different than it's ever been. Was there any positives for you that you took out of that sort of really hectic year that you're going to use for your scheduling and your planning and preparation this year? Is it going to be much different than years before, or is it just sort of a wait and see approach for you?
Well, you kind of have to have a plan, but not everything is up to me, determined by me. Things are changing. Even just getting here to Hawaii, the parameters change times in the weeks leading up to coming to Hawaii. So, have to be a bit flexible, but I think you've just really got to be on top of things at all the time. So nothing falls off the pace in any area of your game or in what you need to do to be at the top, because there might not be that opportunity to work to get it back. It might just be difficult circumstances. So I'm trying to just stay on top of everything and also be a little flexible with my attitude as well, and not get annoyed when things are a bit more difficult, and just take it for what it is.
And then, obviously, with that big stretch you had back home in Queensland last year, how valuable is that to you now, given it might be a while before you're able to get back home again?
Yeah, that was great. That was the positive. If you want to write about a positive, I got to spend 3 months at home. That was fantastic. Looking back on last year, probably the highlight of the year. So, it might be really until the end of this year before I do get back home, hopefully. And that's a long time away, because I enjoy my trips back home, but it is what it is. And like I said a little earlier, if I'm out here playing, I want to make the most of it. Who knows, my time is becoming less and less, that's for sure, all these good young players, so I'd like to contend a little more and win a little more before my time's up.
Perfect, thanks mate.
You got it.
And we have a follow-up question from Adam Schupak at Golf Week.
Yeah, Adam, just one more, thanks.
Yeah.
Dustin Johnson had just one of the great years last season. How would you describe it? Where does it rank among some of the ones you've witnessed?
Yeah, I think it's right up there. It was, maybe I'm wrong, but it was really from when he came back to play in June, when the tour went back to golf. He was phenomenal, and of recent times I compare it to like Jason Day in 2015, but maybe a bit better, and Rory in 14 had a good run, and it was 5 or 6 months of incredibly good golf, and it's not that easy to do that. I only can list a couple, and of course then think of Tiger doing it for about 12 years. So it's pretty phenomenal, and it's horrible to compare people to Tiger because no one can live up to it. But he played at that kind of Tiger standard for the last 5 months.
If you could take one thing from his game, what would it be?
Can I take more than one? Probably, I think his attitude is just so good, so conducive to good scoring, and there's way more that goes into it than we see, but he's got such an easygoing attitude on the golf course. But I think that's just confidence, because he's done all the work and he knows it's going to be a good result.
Thank you.
Yep.
Adam, the final question for today will be from Evan Priest at News.com Australia.
Okay.
Hey Scotty, just wondering, because it's been so long since you played this event, but do you get up to much surfing as a surfing fan, and what do you sort of do to take full advantage of this tournament where it is in Hawaii?
Yeah, I have in the past. I've surfed a lot here, and there is hopefully some waves coming this afternoon, so I might go for a quick paddle before the day's out. It's good preparation, I think.
Is that why you moved the press conference?
Yeah. Didn't get you out of bed too early, did it, Evan?
No.
No. Yeah, I thought of that when I may have moved it earlier. No, yeah. Look, if there's some fun waves to be had, then for sure, go out there. It's always good getting in the ocean, recharge, and may as well take advantage of it while it's here.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Evan. All right, Adam, thank you for joining us today. We appreciate your time. Good luck this week.
Thank you all. Thanks. Cheers.